The news leader, broadcasting for all North Texas. Fox 4 News starts now.
Some positive news out of Van tonight. Within just the last hour, we were told the last 3 people unaccounted for have been found, and they are safe. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Many residents were out surveying what was left of their homes and trying to salvage personal belongings today. The National Weather Service confirmed an EF3 tornado hit the town of Van in Zandt County just before 9 o'clock last night. 2 people are dead, dozens more injured, and shelters have been set up to help. Fox 4's Calvert Collins joining us from Van with the very latest. Calvert.
Yes, Stephen, about those 3 individuals who were just found, we can tell you one was in Houston, another was working in an oil field, and the third was actually found in his apartment here in Van by Tyler police. But in all 3 cases, relatives just did not know where their loved ones were and thus alerted police. But I want to get out of the way. This is the First Baptist Church, which has been the Red Cross command post and shelter where food, water, shelter, and insurance help is being provided. 120 homes devastated by that tornado last night. The fire marshal says they have been overrun with donations, 44,000 pounds of water alone. Neighborhoods and schools are debris fields at best, but the residents' resolve stands strong. Wood, steel, brick, and glass stood no chance against 135-mile-per-hour winds.
Van's been here a long time, and odds run out. One snuck through and got us.
Just before 9 o'clock, darkness loomed, and in it, a tornado that ravaged anything in its path. Residents hardly had any warning. They lost power, then heard sirens.
You could hear it, and I put my flashlight out there, and I could not, it sounded like a lot of rain right at the street, and I'm looking and I don't see rain. And then I let go of the door because you can always feel that suction. And I saw something in the back of my eye, and I see my wife walking behind me, and then that door went like this. And I ran with her, and we got in the closet, and that whole house raised up.
Clyde Hayes then ran to his mother-in-law's house to find it in pieces and her in bad shape.
Her ribs were broken, her shoulder was cut really bad, and her foot was turned all the way backwards. And her son, my brother-in-law, his head was banged up real bad.
She was one of the 26 injured, now in ICU in Tyler. Brenda and Dave Tapley didn't survive the storm. Their mobile home was blown apart. He was a retired Garland police lieutenant, and this was their retirement home. Friends and relatives came to their street, hoping to find them among the missing. Instead, left scouring the debris in hopes of photos to save.
You expect the best, and then this is absolutely the worst that could have happened. And I hated to call my friend and give her the news. Did not want to do that, but here we are.
There's a big tall tower that's now laying over there.
Many in Van spent their day collecting what they could, happy they still had each other, even if their homes were a mangled mess.
Yes, this place looks absolutely horrendous, but it's just stuff, and it can be and will be eventually replaced.
I was just thankful that my daughter survived. The buildings and everything can go, but my daughter and my children, you know.
We stayed in there until I felt like it was okay to come out.
But children now have nowhere to learn. Rhodes Elementary and Van Intermediate Schools are shells of their former structures. Windows blown out, pillars in pieces, trees blocking entrances. School has been canceled tomorrow, and with 4 weeks left, students will most likely be moved to other campuses.
There's no windows, there's
Windows
no roof.
are blown in.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, these parents say they will rebuild their beloved schools and the neighborhoods that surround them.
We are our hometown. Everybody pitches in, everybody comes out and helps.
Well, there are still quite a few folks here in Van without power, but we can tell you Encore and other power companies have been out here all day trying to get those power lines back up and restoring transformers, as well as now security fences are blocking out looters and the public around those schools and the neighborhoods that were affected most by the tornado, just so that the cleanup can really be the focus and keeping out any gawkers or potential looters, as I mentioned, Heather.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about that because these people just rush to each other's side to help each other. So you want to keep a bad element out. You mentioned a lot of people without power. Does that mean they're then taking advantage of the shelter there?
Quite a few are. We've told a lot of folks who didn't have power did go stay with friends or relatives. Here at the Red Cross shelter, 50 people stayed last night. They're expecting fewer tonight because they just haven't had the influx of individuals all day that they did earlier in the day or last night. So they think they're going to be sheltering fewer people tonight. But just the city has really come to the need of many people. Donations are actually being turned away because they're just overrun. There's nowhere to store them. So in fact, the Red Cross tells me most people who were affected are coming and asking for cleaning supplies and water, that's really what they need most because they want to get all that debris out so that they can start rebuilding.
So if they need the cleaning supplies, then they need folks to help? Do they need more volunteers to come in?
They said no, they really don't need any more individuals on site because they're trying to manage how many people do go into that area. So they're trying to leave that to the homeowners and the professionals so that no, they don't need any more people to come in. They're kind of closing that area off to those who live there and those experts called in for the cleanup process.
Gotcha. All right. Calvert Collins live there tonight in Van. Thank you.